Two entrepreneurs pitch the exact same service. Sarah says, I run an AI automation agency and we'll use AI to build your funnel and your ads. John says, we'll build and launch your complete sales funnel, write all your ads, and guarantee your first campaign will generate leads within 48 hours or you don't pay. Who do you think would get the client? Well, John would win every time. Why? Well, it's because he knows exactly what needs to happen, he knows what the client will get, and when it will be done. Sarah just seems like she's throwing tech against the wall. And it's funny because I used to be like Sarah, and it nearly destroyed my business. And only after working with hundreds of clients, I learned how to fix this the hard way. So in this video, I'll show you how I stopped selling AI services and why you should too. 18 months ago, I remember I'd hop on a call and I'd say, hey, I build AI voice agents. I'd show them a quick demo and people's minds were literally blown. They'd never seen anything like it before. I remember closing like 8 out of 10 calls at like $5,000 a pop. It's because I was the only option. And fast forward to today, prospects now just say, oh, you're just another tech bro with a ChatGPT wrapper. Well, what happened, right? It's because the market matured. We went from here and we're all the way here right now. Which means now there are like hundreds of agencies popping up and selling the exact same thing because coaches are marketing it like a mass market business opportunity. So buyers literally went from what's AI to I got 3 other quotes for $500. The idea I want to make clear is that selling AI for AI itself isn't a business model anymore. It's a race to the bottom. But that's not a bad thing. It just means that our strategy needs to change, and that's what I'll show you. So here's a strategy that's actually working, and it's actually stupid simple. So think about a hot dog stand outside a baseball game. Are hot dogs gourmet food? Hell no, right? But will the stand sell hundreds of them in 2 hours? Absolutely. Why? It's because people are hungry, they know what hot dogs are, and then they'll pay for the solution to their immediate problem. You see, this is a proven offer that works for cold traffic because their positioning was correct. So, how do you find your stadium hot dog offer? Well, every business owner has the same 3 things they're hungry for. So they want to first get more customers, they want to make sure their customers are worth more, and they want to cut existing costs. Here's the cool part. I'll show you some validated offers that solve each of these problems and work for cold traffic. We're going to be diving into a couple of these later in the video, but the biggest takeaway is that you don't actually have to educate anyone about why they want stuff like more leads. They're already lying awake at night thinking about it. But how do you do that? Well, step 1 is to pick one proven service that already works on cold traffic. And here's an example from one of our members. So how are you pricing that? Are you charging like a setup fee or a retainer, things like that?
This is purely performance-based. So fortunately for that lead reactivation, the setup is not very complicated. So therefore, it can be done quite quickly with very limited effort.
Igor didn't invent anything new. He just found a big real estate company and offered to reactivate their leads on a performance basis. Why? It's because everyone has a database full of dead leads that they spend money on but never followed up with. And there are potentially millions in that list that can be unlocked. So step 2 is to package it with a specific outcome with clear deliverables. And this is how Igor positions it. He basically says, we'll take your cold database of dead leads and get 5 to 20% of them to raise their hand and book appointments with you in the next 30 days. Notice he's not saying we'll use AI to automate your follow-up sequences. What he is saying is we'll get you more booked appointments in the next 30 days, which takes us to step 3, which is never mention AI in your pitch. To clients, he talks about reactivation strategies, follow-up messages, and his proven system. The prospect doesn't really need to hear about ChatGPT or the nodes he has to mess with. All his clients need to hear is we'll get your dead leads to book appointments. And behind the scenes, Igor's using our platform to build the automation, and the client just sees more booked appointments, which brings us to the critical point you really need to understand. You see, we've hit a point where AI now can handle a lot of the execution, but the thing is, you still need to provide it the strategy and direction. You don't need to be like a 10-year email marketing expert, but what smart entrepreneurs are doing right now are essentially pairing execution of AI with proven strategies from an actual expert. So for example, when it comes to lead reactivation, on our platform, we actually took Alex Hormozzi's lead nurture sequence straight from his books and templatized this on our platform so it's easy to execute. And the strategy came from a proven expert, and the execution is done by AI. That's the winning combination. And this is always going to be true, that the clients will always need someone to own the strategy, handle the accountability, and take responsibility for the results. They don't really want to manage AI. They want to hire an expert who uses the best tools available to get a result. The magic formula is that you kind of become the expert who happens to use AI for efficiency and not the AI guy trying to convince them they need automation. Which brings us to how to actually build this. Okay, so we kind of re-architected our entire app based around how can we make this more simple? And to do that, what we did is when you come into Booked in AI, the first thing you see is Setup Builder. And so this is setup Builder. You can see I have a couple already. And what this is you can come in, you can create a system. So customer support for instant response and lead reactivation. I think most people are interested in this, so let's go over this. All right. So here, all you need to do when you come into these things, there is going to be a progress so you can see what's going on. And all you need to do is interact inside this panel. All right. So let's give it a name. Let's call it test. Let's give it a voice channel. You can either use existing or import a new one. So if you import a new one, it will prompt you to enter your Twilio credentials. But since I have one, I'm just going to use existing. I'm going to select my number. And then it wants you to make an agent. So if you're new, you probably don't have an agent. So you'll probably create a new agent, right? And let's call this agent tester. I don't know. So it's going to take a little bit, and all of this, we're abstracting what needs to be done. So it's going to ask the name of your company, bookedin.ai. What should your assistant call you? Let's say Tommy. So this agent's name will be Tommy. What service do you offer? We reactivate leads for marketing agencies. Okay. What's your main objective? To qualify if the candidate is a marketing agency and book a meeting. Okay, so I'm just filling in these things. Website to learn from. It doesn't have the proper information because our SaaS is a bit more broad in our site, but what this does is essentially this goes out, scrapes the website, and puts that information inside the agent's database or knowledge base. So, okay, now that that's done, any other context about your business? I'm not going to keep it for now. Okay, cool. So that's normally it was a lot harder to make these agents, but now you could just do that and you're good. Okay, now we've moved on to the setup and tool system. So what this means is now you want to make sure this agent is booking to your calendar. And if you want to book it to your calendar, here, these are some common calendars you can connect it to. And all you need to do is just use OAuth. And if you need something a bit more advanced, let's say HubSpot, you'll see HubSpot right here. But for simplicity's sake, let's just use Google Calendar. All you need to do is hit connect once. And you're going to wait for the pop-up to come up. There we go. Boom. And I'm going to connect my account. Okay, cool. So now you'll see, because I just connected it, it's saying Google Calendar authentication complete. Configure your tool. Now, you can select more apps if you want. If you want to like search the web, you can add like Exa, whatnot. But for simplicity's sake, let's just continue with this one app. So now your agent is being attached and giving it the tool without you having to do a bunch of other crazy nonsense, right? Okay, now, since this is for lead reactivations, we want to make sure we have a contact list we're going to be calling, texting, etc. So most people don't have a list, so let's just create a new list. Test list, let's give it a name, and then let's download a CSV template, or you can upload your own. It doesn't really matter. So let's look at it up. Oh, I actually have a CSV already. So it's test leader CSV.numbers. So I'm just gonna, all you have to do is just fill out the CSV. So boom, search files, CSV, test leader. Oh yeah. Let me upload here, CSV, test leader. So this is just my name and stuff like that. So you'll see I just uploaded, and then you preview and then hit preview, and you'll see it's just a CSV with one person, which is just me. I just named myself Jane Doe. This is my email, and this is my number. And I'm going to select my country code for the number, or it will auto detect. And then you save and upload list. So now we just uploaded the list, and now it's auto generating the strategy. There's a couple different things I want to show you. So there's the strategy, there is the agent, and there is you viewing its performance. All right. And you can see if you want to execute it, it's right here, or if you want to test it with the lead, it's right here. You just have to hit these buttons. So the strategy is basically what's going to happen, like what the agent is going to do. So we automatically built this for you. And this, because we selected just call, right? So you're going to see when the campaign starts, it's going to call once, and it's going to wait 4 hours, it's going to call again, it's going to wait the other day, call again, etc. So it's going to keep doing stuff like this. And then after it's done doing all the calling, let's go back. That's the strategy. And then if you want to open up the hood of the agent essentially and then make it a little more advanced, you can configure it here. That's if you need to. Most people probably don't. It's taking a bit to load, but you can see we also re-architected the entire edit agent page. So now there's general, challenge, tools, just step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we wrote the entire prompt for you. And if let's say something is not performing well enough, like it's saying your name too much, you can just write agent keeps saying my name, and then it'll change the prompt. So it'll make it's one step easier to edit the agents, right? Channels is if you want to add a channel, you just add it here, boom. Tools, you can add tools right here. Connection is connecting to the phone number. Advanced is if you want to do any of that other stuff. And you can just hit here to test the agent. Let's view this. And now I'm just going to show you there's two things we can do, either execute campaign or test with a lead. So let's try this, test with the lead. I'm going to look for myself, hit run. And I'm going to wait for the call. Oh, there it is. Speaker. Okay. Hello?
Hey, Samin, this is Alex from Bookton. I know we've talked before about instant lead response systems. I think it was back a while ago. How have you been?
Been good.
Nice, glad to hear. So I'm reaching.
Whatever. So I don't know if you noticed, but it already knew my name and it knows the context based on what we provided in the sheet. And that's pretty much it. Right now, if we were to hit execute campaign, I'm not doing it right now, so it doesn't keep calling me. But and it's the same as test with lead, where now we get to see these these strategies work in action, and that's pretty much it. Then after that, let's say in campaigns, there's some you can like view what's going on, whatnot for your campaigns, what's been called, how many success rate. This might fail, yeah, because it was a very old one, but that's essentially how the software will operate now. So hope that makes a little more sense. I'll make a couple more videos about the instant response system and the customer support, but we're just putting some more final touches on our lead reactivation to make sure it's really, really good. Okay, I showed you a small example with lead reactivation on our platform, but what are other offers you can potentially take advantage of? So let me start by taking you through a few examples, right? So step 1, we want to make sure we start with something that's good at text-based services. So pick services where AI excels, anything involving writing, copy, content, because AI is already better than 90% of people at these tasks. But some industries, these very specific ones, are crushing it right now. So for example, cold email campaigns and lead gen, these are doing really well. Content automation, that means automating social media posts, writing them, writing the blogs, etc. Then writing copy for your sales funnels. A lot of these offers have always been working because people will always need them, and it comes down to improving the conversion rates. So after that's done, we want to make sure we're building around specific measurable outcomes. We don't want to say something like, we improve your marketing. We'll say something like, we'll get you 50 qualified leads in 30 days, or we'll increase your email revenue by 10K in 60 days. So here's the specific template. It's basically, we'll get you X type of result in this time frame, or it's a guaranteed refund. And the biggest thing we want to understand again is we want to not mention AI or make that the forefront of what we're selling. We're not an AI agency. You're a lead gen specialist, you're a email marketing expert, or you're an expert content writer. So these are the skills we want to pick up. And what we do is, this is the strategy, is we start with a performance-based offer to get our foot in the door and then upsell any full AI systems later. Basically, we want to get them results, build trust, and then show them how to automate more of their operations, which brings me to what you need to do next. Ideally, you understand why selling AI services is a dead end and how to actually position yourself as an outcome-focused expert. There's one more thing you really need to master, because if you don't learn this, you'll waste months trying to figure this all out on your own. So watch this video next, where I'll show you the exact step-by-step process to build your first outcome-focused offer and land your first client in 30 days.